Hello, this is Angelia with today's wisdom. Today's wisdom comes from Daily Ohm, Unhindered Moment, getting out of our own way. When you find yourself facing obstacles that appear to be blocking you from your goals, it is important to try not to get discouraged. And we do, because we're humans. Things aren't going the way we thought they should. It's not happening fast enough. And we do get discouraged. It can be easy to feel stuck or that life is creating circumstances preventing you from getting what you want. And sometimes we all feel that way. And I hear people complain all the time, and I'm just like, it's up to you. It's up to you to change your situation. Life is not doing this to you. If you're not changing things, you're allowing this to happen to you. It's your choice. And while it is easy to look at everyone and everything outside of ourselves for the problem, perhaps even wanting to get rid of the person, object, or circumstance we may feel is blocking us, sometimes the best course of action to take may be to look inside ourselves first, because that's where everything comes from in your life. Starts in here, comes out here. You make your own life. Now, adverse circumstances happen. Of course they do to everybody. But if you're blaming this person, this situation, this whatever, probably it's not that. Probably, if the problem is another person, you're allowing this person to treat you this way or to do this to you or whatever. That's your choice to, walk away or say something, like, hey, I'm not cool with what's going on, maybe they don't know that you aren't, and a situation like a workplace, I'm a big believer in, if the workplace gets to be too much of a pain in the butt, you call in sick one day, get on the computer or the phone or whatever, start checking places, find another job, and then you quit the other job that sucks. It makes you miserable. I'm a big believer in that. I used to do it all the time. It is amazing how often we can get in our own way without even being aware that we are doing so. Because like I said, we like to play the blame game. We like to point the finger, and as the old saying goes, when you're pointing the finger, there's more pointing back at you. Because ultimately it does boil down to you. What you choose, what you allow in your life, that's going to be there. Even though we truly want to succeed, there are many reasons why we may sometimes block our own efforts. And it could be you're afraid of success, or, you're just not ready, you're scared. It may be that we are afraid to succeed, so we subconsciously create circumstances to keep ourselves stuck. And I've heard that is a problem with a lot of people. They teach you in psychology that, people like homeostasis, they like the status quo. So, if you feel like you're moving ahead, you get a little scared, and you might hold yourself back. Or it may even be that we are afraid, we went there, that we're going to succeed, so we block ourselves by making the achievement of our goals more difficult than they really are. I see a lot of people that do that, and some people's anxiety just causes me stress. But it's like, it doesn't have to be that hard. No, you're going all about it with too much, you're making too many steps, you're doing too many. No, it's not that hard. You start here, you move to here, it's not hard. And that's why I tell people to make an outline, and yes, there's going to be more steps than you think usually in something, but it's not undoable. It's not that it gets to be too hard. A lot of people say it's getting to be too hard. No, it's not. It just is what it is. And if you're too lazy to take the steps, then it's not going to happen for you. We may even approach our goals in a way that keeps creating the same unsuccessful results. And, that can be true. There are people who are, steamrollers, roll all over their people, and that's not going to work. There are people who, won't delegate, can't delegate. I had a little problem with delegating. I would delegate to people who I felt could handle the load I was delegating to them. And as someone was complaining the other day about how everybody's so fragile, and I'm like, well, not everybody, but I understand where you're coming from. I was around some people, and you had to be careful what you said or did, and that does make it harder. If you believe that you've been standing in your own way, you may want to take a piece of paper and record how you've done so. And like I tell all my coaching clients, keep a journal. Keep a journal. And you can even go back every now and then and look at how you felt about certain things. And you can chart your growth. Because we only know what we know. And you can't beat yourself up if you don't know a thing. But once you do know a thing, you can do better. You have learned better. Now you can do better. Write down the choices you've made that have hindered your efforts and the fears which may have prompted you to make these decisions. Because usually it is fear. I had a woman tell me years ago I had made myself a pair of earrings. She told me years ago, oh, that's what you should be doing, because I was trying to sell, arts and crafts and things, and she saw my earrings and she liked them, and she said, that's what you should be doing. And of course I felt like, oh, I can't make real jewelry, but then I got into it and realized it wasn't that big a deal. I just had to learn the techniques, how to make the things that I wanted. And some people still would criticize what I was doing, because they felt like, the necklaces weren't good enough because of the wire on the edge or whatever. So I started wrapping them, and then I put wax on them. And then I got to be where I just did away with the bead wire altogether, except for earrings, and used, the wax string. So it's a learning process, and there are things you might like to do and they don't work out, and then you can say, well, this is what I wanted to achieve, but it's not really working for other people, and you want other people to buy your stuff. So you can tweak things, but you have to be willing to, again, do what's needed. Take note of any thoughts and feelings that arise, because you're going to have some thoughts and feelings about things. We all do. It is important to be gentle and compassionate during this process, because you need to be gentle with yourself, because especially if you weren't treated very gentle growing up, you need to be the best parent for yourself. Your inner child is the one who's wounded when these things happen. So you need to be gentle with them and have compassion for yourself. Don't beat yourself up, especially if that's already happened to you. Be gentle and have compassion with yourself. Treat yourself like you would have wanted others to treat you. Try not to blame yourself for getting in your own way, because we like to play that blame. I'm so stupid, or I don't know why I made that mistake, and we do that, unfortunately. Remember, the choices we make always are there to serve us until it is time to let them go. And a lot of people have a problem with that, letting go. Once you make a mistake, you realize you make the mistake, you fix the mistake. You let it go. You did your best, but it wasn't good enough. Now you know how to do it right, if you figure that out. And you need to not beat yourself up for it. When you're finished, throw the paper away while setting an intention that you are getting rid of any obstacles you've created to block yourself. And we do that. We put little stumbling blocks in front of our own self, because we get rigid and we decide this is how this has to be, and we have to stick to a schedule that ain't working, or a priority that isn't working, and we need to be a little more flexible with ourselves in order to overcome our blockages. You can then let yourself start again with a clean slate. Forgive yourself, learn better, move on. Doubts and fears are going to be natural, but with this new awareness, you should be able to prevent yourself from subconsciously creating obstacles, because we do that. You know, we don't even realize it sometimes, but we get too far in our head and we create obstacles to what we want to do. Besides, now that you've decided to get out of your own way, the part of you that has always wanted to succeed can now do so. So, like I say, you gotta get out of your own way. You can't blame everyone and everything in the world, blah, 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 because ultimately it is up to you. You have to be willing, you have to put yourself in the situation, and you have to do the work necessary. So, you know, if you want unhindered movement, you do have to get out of your own way. Think about it. Please like and share this wisdom so we can spread it around the world. And if you want to help me out, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to help me even more, you can go to my Patreon page and become a patron. That's all for now. Until next time.